That feeling of like having unresolved emotion, you don't realise how much it weighs you down until it's not there anymore. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing so well. It's been such a long time. I low-key missed you, even though I don't know half of you. There's been a lot going on. I've moved, as you can see. Check me out. My workload has just shot through the roof. It's just been a bit manic at the moment, but I'm back, so you guys will be seeing my face a lot more. So in my last video, I mentioned the 4 things that I do that help me practice self-care, and the response was so positive. I just want to thank you guys. I've had my subscribers go up. I think I'm close to 200 subscribers now, guys, which is like, whoa. I actually screenshotted my 100th subscriber, so I might put her here, or him, maybe. But a lot of you guys messaged me on Instagram and on YouTube asking me to do a specific video on journaling. So here we go. I'm going to link the video up here, so if you haven't seen it already, please go and take a look. There's lots of different styles of journaling that I do. So I do like fluid journaling, where it's just I just let my thoughts go out on paper. It doesn't have to be in any type of sequence. It doesn't have to make much sense, but you're just offloading. You're almost exporting whatever's in your mind onto a piece of paper. You shut your journal and then you get on with your day. So you can have a peaceful day, or you can go to sleep and just have everything resolved. I don't know about you guys, but my mind is very busy. I'm always thinking about things, wondering about things, questioning things, hanging onto things that I shouldn't be hanging onto. So my brain is constantly working. My internal dialogue is just a chatterbox. Like whoever is in my head, that sounds crazy. That sounds really crazy. Whatever. I journal most of the time I journal to resolve a problem that I have, or to kind of figure out what's going on in my head, because sometimes when it stays in your mind, you can't really put the pieces together. You can't figure out why something's bothering you. There's times when I will ask myself specific questions to try and uncover something. There's times when it's just purely gratitude, where I'm just giving thanks. The thing that I would say that is the most important thing about journaling, you have to commit to being honest. Commit to it like your life depends on it. You say exactly what you think, exactly what you feel, no matter how embarrassed it might make you feel, no matter how shameful it might make you feel, no matter how disgusted it may make you feel. And if it means that you're so honest in this book that you have to hide your journal away, then do that. Hide it under a mattress, hide it in a coat pocket, hide it somewhere if you have to do that. Commit to this being an extension of your soul almost, your deepest vulnerabilities. The more honest and raw and uncut your journaling experience is, the more you're going to get out of it. If you go into it wanting to pretend and to carry on putting on a front that you do when you leave your bedroom or when you leave to go out to work, you're not going to get any benefits out of it. So for example, you're known in the office as the person who's a straight talker, no nonsense. When it comes to journaling, you need to let that facade go. So you need to be honest and say, that hurt my feelings. That really made me feel insecure about myself. That reminded me of the time when I was younger and somebody spoke to me in the same way. All the facades that you have, that you use in order to navigate the world, you let that go when it comes to journaling, so that you can get the best out of it. It's a place where you can understand yourself a bit more, understand why things that shouldn't trigger you do trigger you. And something that I personally do is I continue to ask myself why until I feel like something's resolved. I put the problem that I have, I put what I think about it, I put what I feel about it, and then I ask myself, why do I feel that way about it? So for example, yesterday I was journaling because I've been observing 2 people. In the way that they behave in front of me triggered something in me, and I couldn't figure out why it was niggling at me. And I have been purposely avoiding those 2 people because every time I'm around them, I get frustrated. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was thinking, they have no impact in my life. Why is this bothering me so much? And as I started journaling about it, it was like, oh, I get it. I understand why how they're behaving is bothering me so much. Just the pure observation is triggering me, and now I understand that that's a trigger of mine. And I'm 29 years old, and I didn't realise that that particular behaviour was a trigger for me, but now I know because of journaling. A friend of mine said this to me the other day, that nothing is for nothing. There's always a reason why you are drawn to certain people, why you're attracted to certain men, why you feel a certain way when somebody does something for you or to you. There's always a reason for why we do things. Do not take how you are at face value. There's always a story behind it. The mind, as complex as it is, has the answers inside of it already. I promise you, once you uncover the actual reason why, it's like this freeing feeling. You will know for a fact that this is the reason why you do it. And after you know the reason why you do it, you resolve it. Another thing I do actually is allow my mind to take me where it wants to go. 2 days ago, I wanted to journal about 2 very specific things because there were 2 very specific things that were bothering me. As I started journaling about one thing, it kind of spiraled off into something else, and I kind of wanted to steer it back, but my mind, as I started talking about A, ventured off into this new thing that I wasn't prepared to talk about just yet. Allow your mind to take you where it needs to go, because your mind is trying to help you, I believe, to resolve things that you are choosing not to deal with. So for example, you might want to have a chat about a situation at work, but actually today your mind wants to talk to you about why you haven't called your dad and how you and your dad's relationship is affecting you, and just go there and resolve it and sort it out then and there. Don't harbour it, because that feeling of having unresolved emotion, you don't realise how much it weighs you down until it's not there anymore. The last thing that I would say to you guys, explore the areas that make you feel the most uncomfortable and the most vulnerable. So journaling is not all like fairies and daisies, and when I said to you it's the place to be the most vulnerable and the most honest, it's because you're going to feel uncomfortable a lot. The deeper into journaling you go, it's like you're sinking into an ocean almost, because it's taking you into a place where you're exploring things that day to day you don't explore, that you ignore, that you don't deal with. And so when you finally figure out why you feel a particular way about something, where that's all coming from, sometimes it's not a nice feeling to know that a trauma or a hurt is still playing out in your life today. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's always a pleasant experience, but what I would say is, if you commit to resolving it, that feeling at the end is just so freeing. You just feel so light. It's almost like you sink down into oh, I didn't know I felt this way about myself. I didn't know witnessing that affected me so much. I didn't know that I still felt that way about this person and how I'm still letting that play out in my life today. It's an eye-opening experience. But once you rewrite it and you say, do you know what, Gina, I get it now. It's like you are coming right back up to the surface, and you can take this big gasp of air as you come out of the ocean almost. It's that breath of fresh air of I don't have to deal with this type of thing anymore. I notice this about myself, so I can be more mindful of my triggers. I can be more mindful to combat it when I see it approaching. I can be mindful that this is actually a problem that I have, and I need to stop putting it on other people and making other people the problem. But I would suggest exploring the things that make you feel uncomfortable, the things that make you feel insecure. Explore them and unpick them, because then, do you know what? You have power over it. Your insecurities, your vulnerabilities, they have no power to control how you maneuver in your life, in your relationship, in your workplace, because you now have an understanding and an awareness of why you do the things that you do, and you're gonna know when the best time for you is. So for example, there's certain parts of my life, certain emotions that I have that right now I'm just not ready to deal with it. It just feels too dense. You know what's best for you, and you go at your own pace. This is your experience. This is for your benefit, not for anybody else's. So just to recap, commit to being honest and transparent. Continue to ask yourself why until you hit that aha moment, I get it. Allow your mind to take you wherever it wants to go and resolve whatever it needs to resolve at that time, and explore the areas that make you feel the most uncomfortable and the most vulnerable. So guys, that's all for today. If you made it to the end, I salute you. You're the real OG. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this with any of your friends or family who you think will benefit from this. I will be back in about a week's time, hopefully. Subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Instagram. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, so now I have something in my eye. 1 second. This is hard. And there's times when I ask And okay. I wonder if you can hear the kids outside.